And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Starting off with a look at the warnings and some advisories. The red shaded area here, Susitna Valley, western Kenai Peninsula. That's a heavy snow warning for heavy snow, 6 to 12 inches snow through the night tonight and into at least the early part of Tuesday. And then the more faded orange area here, that's a winter weather advisory, eastern Kenai Peninsula, Prince William Sound, up into the Copper River Basin and the Alaska Range for several inches of snow, along with gusty winds creating blowing snow, reducing visibilities there. And also there's also a blizzard warning for Thompson Pass for whiteout conditions starting late tonight and through most of the day tomorrow as northeast winds are expected to increase. And then down here along the southeast coast, that's a high wind warning. Sitka on down to Port Alexander, Prince of Wales Island, looking for 25 to 30 knot southeast winds with gusts possibly 60 or more miles per hour. Satellite imagery here showing clouds moving eastward across the state today. Front kind of hard to see the back edge of it here on this picture, but more moisture coming up from the south here with the developing storm farther to the south. And actually breaking out here, precipitation becoming, the air mass is milder and the precipitation more showery in the form of rain over the southwest interior as warm air pushes up to the northeast. There are also some clearing periods out here. And isolated showers, mostly dry actually, with a fair amount of clearing here occurring along the eastern Aleutians and out to the west. And then another big area of cloudiness with the next system pushing into the far western Bering Sea. Rolling that through again, you can see this moving on out pretty nicely there. And this coming up, kind of another round of snow and precipitation. And a big increase in the winds here for the North Gulf Coast as that comes up later tonight and tomorrow. On the chart today, low pressure up here tracking northeastward there near the Seward Peninsula. That brought winds anywhere from 25 to 40 miles an hour out of the east today, creating areas of blowing snow. Selawik carried heavy snow much of the day today, and lighter winds and lighter snow to the east here, pushing in across the Tanana Valley northward there to around Fort Yukon. Back to the west, things behind the front, scattering out to showers with milder temperatures there, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s here with rain showers again. Some clearing here, as I mentioned, along the Aleutians. And not a bad day here for the southeast coast, just mostly cloudy with a few sun breaks there. And for tonight, actually this low tracks northeastward here and deepens quite a bit down to 979 millibars. So we've got gale warnings out here for the Kodiak Island area, the North Gulf Coast, increasing winds here for the eastern Gulf of Alaska, and along the central and north coast of the Panhandle late tonight with rain moving into those areas. Mixture of precipitation along the coastline, snow heavy at times, Susitna Valley down into the western Kenai Peninsula, again possibly maybe 6 to 12 inches falling, snow increasing here across the Copper River Basin, spreading up to the Alaska Range. This weakening low keeps light snow going with a lot less wind now from about Kivalina down across the Kobuk Valley, Kotzebue Sound, Seward Peninsula, right on down into the Yukon Delta with some snow showers and temperatures falling back down to freezing or maybe a little below here for the Kuskokwim Delta areas. Gusty northwest winds here for the Alaska Peninsula. And the next big storm coming onto the chart here out to the west tomorrow will push gale force winds into Adak and Atka with rain, storm force winds for the western Aleutians there, and high pressure to the east here, light winds over the eastern Bering Sea, clearing it out along the southwest coast, drying it out here with chillier temperatures coming back in as the high comes in, but not all that cold. And then storm force winds, gale force winds, Kodiak Island up into southern Cook Inlet, North Gulf Coast, Prince William Sound, and the coast of the Panhandle, looking at gales and storm force winds here all the way down toward the Queen Charlotte Islands. Intense low center there continues to deepen, very tight gradient here, so those northeast winds picking up through Thompson Pass and the Copper River Delta, gusts 60 miles an hour more, creating the blizzard conditions for Thompson Pass. Still looking at rain or rain mixed with snow for the North Gulf Coast areas, and snow starting to end from west to east, so much lighter snows for the western Kenai Peninsula and Susitna Valley in the afternoon, but periods of snow through the day for the Copper River Basin up into the Tanana Valley areas. And then for the outlook on Wednesday, this low shifts off to the southeast here And still a chance of some rain in the afternoon for the extreme southern panhandle like Heidelberg over toward Metlakatla southward. Not a bad day for the remainder of the southeast coast there with some possible clearing. Rain and snow showers on the North Gulf Coast. Snow slowly ending from west to east here, but probably continuing through the afternoon from the Wrangell Mountains, eastern Copper River Basin, up across Northway, Nabesna, Tok, up to Eagle, Chicken in those areas, maybe to Chalk-Yitzhak, and starting to taper off for Fort Yukon, probably just some flurries in the afternoon hours, if that. A lot of clearing here to the west with pretty light winds from the north slope right on down into the Kenai Peninsula. Not bad for Kodiak Island. A few more clouds down there, but dry with light winds. This front weakening as it approaches the southwest coast. Now push an increase in precipitation, much like yesterday here into the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, Nunivak Island, mostly rain. Snow for St. Lawrence Island, and pretty windy over the southwest Bering Sea here in the western and central Aleutians. Lows tonight here, coldest up over the northeast interior in the eastern Brooks Range area, anywhere from 5 to 10 below, or 5 above to 10 below zero there. Teens and 20s for the Arctic coast, milder here down to the southwest coast, mostly in the 30s, and lows in the 40s for the Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula. Upper 20s to lower 30s, south central Alaska, near 20 for the Copper River Basin, and 30s and 40s for the southeast coast. Highs for tomorrow, warming up here near 40 for Anchorage Palmer, lower 40s for the Kenai Peninsula, Seward down to Homer, 46 for Kodiak, teens and 20s there in the Tanana Valley, 5 to 10 for the Brooks Range, and teens and 20s for the Arctic coast. Highs in the lower 30s here for the southwest interior, and 40s again for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. And then the lows, the lows, 40s for the southeast coast. Back a little colder now up over the interior here, anywhere from, again, 10 below to 15 above, depending on your location and elevation. Arctic coast, 5 above to 23 on the central coast there, and 30s out to the southwest coast. Highs on Wednesday afternoon, 45 to 50 for the Panhandle, mid to upper 40s here for the Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island, eastern Aleutians. A little cooler now, south central Alaska, but still getting above freezing most everywhere. Lower to mid 30s, upper 20s Copper River Basin, teens in the central interior.